The Florida Gator football team hit the road this past weekend, traveling this time to Knoxville to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. College game day was in town as Gator fans and Gators were going for their 8th straight win against the Vols. In the first half, Tennessee quarterback Tyler Bray struggled as Florida linebacker Lorente McCray picked him off. The Gators trailed at halftime, but in the second half, Trey Burton goes around the corner, busts a tackle, and goes all the way for an 80-yard stamper. All the way, takes it to the house for this touchdown. In the fourth quarter, Jeff Driscoll found Frankie Hammond for another big play as Hammonds got away from defenders for a 75-yard score for a touchdown again for the Gators. The Gators went on to win the game 37-20. Today, head coach Will Muschamp talked about sophomore quarterback Jeff Driscoll and his improvement so far this season.
So the game has slowed down for him. I mean, he's able to anticipate things more. He's able to see things more. He understands a little bit more about coverage concepts and where the rotation is and where the pressure may come from based on the tilt of the safeties. I mean,
the Florida Gators jumped up 4 notches in this week's AP poll. The Gators now sit at number 14 in the poll. The top 5 this week is Alabama, LSU, Oregon, Florida State, and Georgia rounds out the top 5. Next week, the Gators will play host to a struggling Kentucky Wildcat team. The Gators will be looking for their 26th consecutive victory against the Wildcats. Kentucky was upset this past week by the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky, 32-31 in overtime. Here, Western Kentucky went for 2 in extra time on this trick play to upset the Wildcats at home. And the Florida volleyball team was in action again this weekend on the road after they took on Arkansas and Kentucky. The 13th ranked Gators, seen here in their last home game, played Arkansas and defeated them in 5 sets, 15-13 in the 5th set. The Gators then swept Kentucky 3-0 on Sunday. Today, Florida assistant coach David Boss said the Gators played their best match of the year on Sunday.
I'll tell you that for me, the most satisfying match of the season so far, personally, was definitely Sunday, because the game, the scoring reports are one thing, but the execution and just watching the buy-in of the players, and you can see the younger players are starting to go, oh, I get what we're doing now. I understand why we're doing this.
And the Gators soccer team opened up their SEC play this weekend on the road. The Gators lost to Kentucky on Friday 2-1, but knocked off Auburn 2-1 in overtime on Sunday. Florida coach Becky Burley says a team meeting on Saturday helped the team regain composure following the loss.
Well, and I think that helped the players to understand that it wasn't always about trying to outwork another team or get everybody fired up to play. Sometimes we needed just composure and to have a little bit of collectedness about ourselves so that.
And over to pro football, the Florida teams were back in action this weekend. Let's go to New York. Late in the fourth quarter, Eli Manning hooked up with Victor Cruz on this 80-yard bomb for a touchdown. Then Andre Brown ran it in for the game-winning touchdown as the New York Giants knocked off the Tampa Bay Bucks. Eli Manning takes a knee at the end of the game, and the Bucks go after him. Giants coach Tom Coughlin didn't like it and lets the Bucks coach Greg Schiano know about it. And in other NFL news from around the state of Florida, the Jacksonville Jaguars and Miami Dolphins hosted games this weekend. The Jaguars fell to 0-2 on the season after losing 27-7 to the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins beat the Oakland Raiders 35-13 to improve to 1-1 on the season. The Fins will host Mark Sanchez and Tim Tebow and the New York Jets next week.
Thanks, Kyle. More news after the break. Stay with us.